back guys, so today we'll be working on our 335Y. As you saw in the last video, we sealed off all 4 arches, we took care of all the rubbing issues as well. We took the car for a test drive, everything was perfectly fine, so we now are ready to actually prep all these panels for paint. Now before we actually do prep these panels for paint, one thing we need to do is the fiberglass. Just say guys, we need to fiberglass some of these wide arches because we have got a bit of gaps in them, and some of them do have a bit of cracks. As I showed you guys in the previous video. So I'll talk you through, we're going to be applying the fiberglass in a bit. But before we do start the video, I just want to say, if you guys do enjoy the content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing. And also follow us on Instagram at Performance Rebuild. So let's just get straight into it. So if you take a look down here, we have got a bit of a gap just along here. So we do need to fill that with the fiberglass. And also up here guys, we have got a bit of a gap just along this region. So we can also be filling this part of the panel as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically go around all the fiberglass panels, look at where the gaps are, get them filled with the fiberglass. Yeah, so up here as well guys, like I mentioned in the last video, we have got a crack down there, so there's various spots here and there that need the fiberglass. So I'm hoping today we can finish off all the fiberglass work. So I'll start off just along here guys. I guess what I'll do is I'll basically mask off just along this region here. Once we've done that, I'll just start filling it with the fiberglass. Fiberglass is nice and dry, so I can start sanding it down now. So here's the plan. I'm going to basically sand down all the bits of fiberglass that I've put on. Then I'm going to basically top it up wherever it needs it. Once that's done, I'll sand it down one more time. Then I'll take the panels off and I'll give them extra support. So where I've applied all the fiberglass underneath the panel, so underneath there guys, I'm going to basically apply some more fiberglass on the bottom side of it, just to strengthen the bit that I put on, so that way this bit does not crack. It's got extra support. So I'm going to be doing that for every bit of panel that I've actually put the fiberglass on. So just along here I've got all fiberglass. I'm going to support it from the other side as well guys. So that way, that fiberglass doesn't crack and it's got support as well. So yeah, I guess I'll start sanding it down and then we'll apply some more fiberglass. Just sanded off the fiberglass with 120 grit, and I gave it a second coat of the fiberglass because when I put the first coat on guys, there was a few dips and crevices in the gaps, so I had to put the second coat on just to kind of even it all out. So if you look at it now, it's a lot more even. So when I do sand that down, it'll be nice and flush. So yeah guys, we're gonna have to wait around for a bit. Once it all dries up, we'll start sanding it down again, and then we'll give it some extra fiberglass on the back side of the panel. I think in the meantime I might just start sanding down the front panels. So this wing over here guys, I might just start sanding it down. This is the only wing that I didn't put any fiberglass on. All the other arches have all got fiberglass apart from this one. So yeah, this one's quite mint to be honest, so I might just start sanding it down now. Yeah, to get that prepped in the meantime. So it is the next day, and as you guys saw yesterday, we did rub down all the wide body panels. We used a 180 grit. We've got them nice and smooth now, but we have got a bit of an issue just along this region here. As you were saying, that we need to use a bit of filler because that panel does go in just a bit. It's hard to see on camera, it's hard to see in person to be honest, but if you put your hand on it, you can kind of feel how it goes in a bit. So it does need a bit of filler work just in that region. Apart from that, the body kit's pretty decent now. We have filled all our gaps. So yeah, all the gaps that we filled, we do need to support it from the back side of the panel just so it's got extra support. So that way the extra fiberglass that we put on doesn't crack off. Right, so I sanded down all the panels that come off this side, and what I did was I gave it extra support with the fiberglass on the back side, just along here. So the little piece of fiberglass that we did put on to fill the gaps, that way that doesn't crack if you give it extra support. So that's exactly what I've done on all 3 of these panels. So you got that one there, and you got 2 pounds on the floor as well. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna basically sand all these down, get it nice and smooth. So see this back side where it sits next to the panel. I'm gonna basically get all this nice and smooth. Once that's done, these panels are pretty much ready for the 2-pack primer, and then we're going to work on the other panels on this side. So I might just take off the lower panel on the back, take that off, give it some extra support, sand that down as well. And then this panel just here, guys, this didn't really have any gaps, so this panel is fine as it is. But I will be taking it off so I can sand down the bottom section of the panel. And yeah, as you still got to work on that quarter panel. Once you've done that, we can take it off and do the exact same to that. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on with it now. I'll apply the, I'll actually sand down these panels now, getting ready for the 2-pack primer.
So I made a start on that rear arch, and you see right here, the reason why I've actually applied some filler is because the panel is actually quite ripply. In order to actually achieve the best results, what we have to do is apply some filler on there. So I just skimmed it with filler. Now what I'm going to use a 180 grit and just level it all down, and that should be pretty much ready for primer. I mean, there's a bit of a ditch right here, so that's done. We'll block that down. I mean, I might just skim it right around here. There's a bit high and low spots around here. A lot of people will just spray straight over them, but I don't think they're actually ready to spray straight over. In order to get the best results, we'll have to just give it a bit of.
Is this the only pan that can get the filler?
I think the other actually is doing as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we'll do is I think that's off the car. So
yeah, that's off the car at the moment, yeah.
It's easy to actually work with once it's on the car. So I think once we are ready for, once everything's been blocked down, we'll get this panel off, and that should be pretty much ready for primer. Then we can move on the next stage, which is the other side.
Before we do actually prime the panel, I need to put some fiberglass on the back side of this panel, because where we did kind of fill the gaps, I need to support with extra fiberglass on the back. So once you finish with that, you can take the other arch, and I'll basically carry on with this one.
Yeah, I mean, once you're happy with it, there's no point rushing these sort of things. You'd rather take our time. It might take a bit longer, but at the end of the day, we'll achieve the best results that we can.
So in the meantime, while you're working on that, I'll take off this lower panel just there, and I'll basically get that all ready as well. So yeah, just gonna crack on with it now, and we'll see how far we can get with it. Right, so while Z finishes off the filler work on that quarter arch, guys, he's going to also be using filler on this side, getting this arch all shaped up, because it has got a few ripples just along that region there and along the top as well. So I'm going to leave him to do the filler work. In the meantime, I'm going to basically scotch down the car. So I'll be scotching down pretty much every single panel apart from this bonnet, because we are going to be using the M3 bonnet instead, so that will be getting scotched instead. So yeah, there's quite a bit of work to do. It's a lot of rubbing down to do. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it. I'll start off by rubbing down the wing, the door, and then I'll just work my way around the car. So I've just finished off scotching down the doors and the wings as well. So both sides are pretty much done now. I've even done a bit of the quarter panel just along this region here, guys. But obviously you can't really do all of it because the wide arch is in the way. Z has been a little busy. He's behind the camera right now. He's been working on the customer's car. His plan was to actually sand all this down and then work on the passenger side. But obviously that's not been done. But I can't really blame the guy because he was super busy as well. And he's got the sniffles, guys. So yeah. Anyways, we are going to end the video there, guys. I'm hoping next week we can actually paint some of the panels, but I'm not too sure if that's going to happen or not. What do you reckon, Z?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think we should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So we can two-pack primer them next week.
Yeah.
You know, flatten down and then.
No videos going out next week until they're painted.
But yeah. So it's still a good amount of work to be done. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of prep work that goes on before you actually paint the panels, and we didn't have to apply that fill work, guys. But as you said, there was a bit of ripples along this region here, so you had to actually get the filler on there, you know, to get it nice and smooth and to get the right shape as well. So,
I mean, if you didn't actually apply the filler, we could have actually primed all the panels.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, but I think Z was right about the ripples, and it would have just given us like a horrible finish. So we thought, why not, you know, take a bit more time, you know, sand them all down properly, apply filler wherever it needs it to get that, you know, really good finish. So yeah, guys, this is as far as we've got now. There's still a lot of work to be done. I'm hoping next week we can paint all 4 arches along with those rear lower panels as well.
I think once the kit's out the way, we can start working on the actual body. We need to get doors off, tailgate off, bumper, lights, bonnet, get everything all stripped out, get the quarter glass out, and we can start prepping the body for paint. Now obviously once it's back in there, they can work on the panels.
So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing. And just follow us on Instagram at Performance Rebuilds for all the behind the scenes. We have got a lot more new cars coming to the channel. We've already purchased a car not that long ago. And there's a lot more cars coming, guys. As you guys know, we have sold the C63, we've sold the GTR as well. We sold the white Fiesta, the black Fiesta. So yeah, we pretty much sold a bunch of our cars.
I mean, if you do have any suggestions, just drop them in the comment section down below.
Yeah, just let us know what you guys want to see on the channel. But for now, guys, we're going to end it there. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.